Well, Wimbledon started their Premier League campaign against last season's champions up at Ellen Road with a neat sense of symmetry. They finish it here against the new champions, and they're certainly going to finish it inflicting a bruise or two, as Paul Ince finds within seconds as Vinnie Jones comes fast off the blocks. Andy?
Well, in case anyone was interested as to whether Wimbledon were up for this game, 10 seconds, Vinnie's first fell. I'll tell you what, it could have been a lot worse. He really did launch himself at Paul Ince there.
Well, what was it, a booking in his Chelsea days in 3 seconds against Sheffield United, I think, last season in the FA Cup. And Sagas well forward. Is that a push by Pallister? It certainly looked it.
Well, that's what they're going to get lots of today. There's going to be a lot of the ball played in towards the centre-backs for Fashanu and Holdsworth, just to make a mess of things, to mess people up.
Peter Schmeichel played one of his early games in this fixture last season, his early games in England. And learned one or two harsh lessons. It was an awkward evening for him here. Manchester United did win by 2 goals to 1. One of the scorers, Gary Pallister. Schmeichel with an eye on Fashanu then. And the referee with an eye on Fashanu as well.
Well, that does show he's learned, Peter Schmeichel, doesn't it? He came out here, he knew that John Fashanu was attacking the ball. But look at the goalkeeper, the knees up, he's protected himself. And that's classic goalkeeping pose there, they always do that. And against a team like Wimbledon, you need to be able to do that.
One thing the players will appreciate here is the weather. It's rained hard this morning to freshen up the pitch. And Lee Sharp in here freshly for United. Barton can see it wide of the post. A chance.
Yeah, Warren Barton, I think, expects this to be going back to the goalkeeper. But the ball just sits up, and Sharp, there he goes, watch Barton, I think you see there. Sharp just nicks in behind him as he stops. And really, Lee Sharp, that's a chance that he would have done better at 99 times out of 100.
Oh, Ardley, is it dropping over Schmeichel? Not sure quite what Ardley had in mind, but it very nearly manifested itself as a telling chip over Schmeichel.
Well, there's a look of panic on Peter Schmeichel's face. He's put under a bit of pressure, he's always stretching for it, Neil Ardley, but you can see how close he comes to embarrassing Peter Schmeichel. That's not a deliberate chip at all, he's just leaning back, stretching, and doesn't catch it right.
Well, any way you can to watch today. The answer is, if you can't get into the ground, is to get a dish. Hughes. Ince pushing on. Cantona holding his position, worried about going offside. Ince going on with the ball. It has been a week of sustained celebration for the Manchester United players. They'll be hoping there's enough left on the high to lift them over this hurdle.
Yeah, that's a little suggestion of what I thought would happen with Paul Ince. Being the one to be asked to be holding midfield, but with Brian Robson now, very capable of doing that today. Expect more of those kind of runs from Paul Ince.
Jokineer has really developed into the right man at the helm for Wimbledon. Owen. Here's Sharp. United, of course, attacking the end at which they scored their 2 goals to beat Crystal Palace here recently. A significant evening that turned out to be. McClare, Robson.
Now, he had 2 things in mind there. 2 options he really had, Brian McClare. He chose to look for Robson. I just wonder had the shot not been the better one.
Well, there was Brian Robson roaring into the sort of position that really he made his trademark down the years. Doesn't happen quite so often now.
Yeah, he picks and chooses them now, but you can see there he goes. He sets off. Robbie Earls left there. He's got a chance of the shot, opts for the pass, but not quite accurate enough.
Oh, mistake by Fitzgerald, and Ince can't take advantage of it. And I'm sure that's not down to any overindulgence over the past few days.
I'll tell you what it's down to. It's down to Fitzgerald's recovery, Martin. He makes a mistake, he gets put in an awful spot, but look how quickly he gets back in there. And I think it's just his challenge that puts Paul Ince off enough. Now watch the way the six recovers there, Fitzgerald. He has to take a touch on it, but the challenge comes in, and that to me is just enough to put Ince off.
McAllister, oh, with a little flick. Fashanu, the flag's up.
You're right about Robbie Earl, Martin. We've seen very little of him getting into the box, or what's even worse, finding space. I mean, the ball's delivered in there, and John Fashanu's not offside because everyone misses the ball, and it fools the linesman as well. He's not offside from the initial ball, and Robbie Earl didn't get a touch on it, so the linesman just fooled a little bit there.
Fashanu definitely not offside here. He's past Pallister, Schmeichel's got to come, and that takes a bit of courage. We saw a similar incident earlier in the season where Fashanu bore down on the Tottenham goal, which was guarded then by Ian Walker, who had to come out at the feet.
Yeah, I think had this been a little bit early in the season as well, Mark, we might have seen John Fashanu a little bit more committed. You see the anxious look, the thankful look from Peter Schmeichel.
Cantona clipped from behind by Scales. Sharp is in behind them here. Fitzgerald and Barton both watching the ball rather than the man. It's a terrific try from Lee Sharp. And an acrobatic stop by Sagers.
I thought he was offside for me. I watched Lee Sharp as this move was developing. And initially I thought he was offside, but there's certainly nothing wrong with his attempt. Oh, the spectacular save from Hans Sagers.
Helping the defending. Robson. Jones. And Manchester United replying in kind in the tigerish tackling.
That's what you need as champions, Martin. That's what they've got. They compete for absolutely everything. I think he's offside initially, but from there on, it's the quality and skill of Lee Sharp that develops. You can see what he tries to do, but Hans Sagers is up to it.
McClare. Sharp. Problems for Wimbledon here. Still Sharp. Barton protests, but a corner it is. The twin peaks of Gary Pallister and Steve Bruce are up for the corner. This is Cantona. Bruce makes a little decoy run. And Robson hits Barton, comes back to Bruce. Oh, great play from Bruce. And Sharp. Here's Pallister. Cantona trying to claim it at the far post. To the high spot, really, in the hurly-burly in the Wimbledon penalty area was Steve Bruce's work on the ball.
Yes, I think it comes from here. Now watch. First of all, his touch is excellent. Then you think he's going to shoot. Little slip there, throws it across. And how important a touch was that from Warren Barton. Still not finished. Back in again. And John Scales rescues the situation.
Hardway. It's a corner. Deep into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Scale changing his position. John Scales to go now towards the far post. Michael can only pat it down. But at half-time here on the final day of England's Premier League, the Dane at one end and the Dutchman at the other have kept clean. And the arrival of Giggs and the departure of Irwin means that Lee Sharp will play at left back. And his first task to jump here against Vinnie Jones. Full ball by Robson. Fashanu. Hardly. Jones hoisting it up. Not one that Earl could fight for, or Andy Clark. McLean. Here's Hughes. Well, when they really put their minds to it, Manchester United have shown they have the measure of the rest of this league. And Robson. McClare, they're putting their minds to it here, all right. Cantona.
It's almost as if they're willing Brian Robson to get a goal. It really is. Again, it was Robson winning of the tackle that sets it up. McClare tries to tee him up. But it's Fitzgerald again there. You watch again as Cantona comes in. He gets a very important block there. He's very aware. The little 1-2 on the edge of the box. Fitzgerald gets the first block, but watch how quickly he gets his legs across and just denies Eric Cantona.
Cantona, Giggs is away if he sees him. Cantona might do it on his own. Now Giggs, who stayed onside. Hughes coming in, but Barton there first.
Well, there was nothing wrong with the move, was there? Cantona, we thought maybe hadn't seen Giggs, but he knew he was there all right. He attempted to play it first time. I just wondered if someone attacked the near post would have been more beneficial to them. The ball in from Giggs was certainly good enough.
McClare! Oh, and the flag was up against Hughes. It wouldn't have counted. That couldn't stop our admiration for Hans Segers.
Yeah, Segers does everything right. And you can see he is offside there, Mark Hughes, but he made it quite comfortable for the goalkeeper in the end, by basically heading the ball straight to him.
Breaking day for Wimbledon on the attendance front, and here's McClare. Segers just steers it wide of the post and beyond the in-rushing Cantona.
Well, if Hans Segers had got any more on this, then Eric Cantona would have had a simple tap in. He gets a touch, it's just enough, but not too much as to stop the ball for Cantona.
Giggs to take the corner. That's goal for Manchester United. Not directly in from the foot of Paul Ince, but they turn to him. And a few supporters want to join in the embraces as well, being sent away by the Manchester United players and being yelled off by the vast majority here.
Well, there's no doubt that Paul Ince will claim this. Hits it very well, it's a difficult one, gets a deflection off Fitzgerald, and really Hans Segers can do nothing whatsoever about that.
So Ince is a scorer at Selhurst Park again, just as he was here against Crystal Palace on a big night last month. And it's Wimbledon 0, Manchester United 1. Ardley. Barton. Trying to sling it in, and Andy Clark comes around the back. Here's Earl and Holsworth. Well, it came very quickly to him, but he took the pace off the ball, and then Schmeichel came charging out
They had the man over in Andy Clark, and as it breaks, he's looking to shoot here, Robbie L. The first real chance in the match for Dean Holdsworth. Just enough from Peter Schmeichel to thwart him.
Pallister. Manchester United moving towards another victory to round off the Premier League season with 7 straight successes. Hughes. Cantona being chased by Fitzgerald. United's ball. Cantona smuggles it through to Robson. Leclerc! Well, any stronger contact and it would have been 2.
Super piece of football from Manchester United. Started by Cantona. You don't see the arrogance in the little flick. Robson's cross is pretty near perfect. But Brian McClair is, what, inches away from making a better contact.
Robson. And eventually they have to stop the play on the insistence of the referee, and even after that, Ince drilled a lovely ball out to the left. But it couldn't be regarded as a dead ball, and the restart. Joe Kinnear is going to make a change. He's calling Neil Ardley off. And he's going to replace him with Roger Joseph. Joseph going in at right back, and Barton will play in Ardley's role on the right-hand side of midfield. There's no offside here. It's a great chance for Robson, and he's done it! And that's what Manchester United wanted. When the list of goal scorers in this historic season for the club is completed, Brian Robson's name will be on it.
Well, this is quite incredible. Brian Robson's not offside. I don't know if it's Roger Joseph, who's only just came onto the pitch. Perhaps he's gone to sleep a little bit. But certainly he's the only one that can have been talking about keeping not Robson onside, but Mark Hughes, who was further afield. But when he got in there, I didn't think there was going to be any other result than Robbo tucking it away. I really didn't.
His first goal for 18 months. Joe Kinnear was changing it to try and put some more pep into his side. And within seconds, the ball was in the back of the Wimbledon net. Bruce again. No one's enjoyed it more than him today. Ince with the pass. Hughes, Giggs is there, McClair's coming in as well. Cantona loitering in the centre. Ince with the volley!
Well, this really is a wonderful volley. Great vision from Mark Hughes in the first place. Precision pass, and that's fabulous technique from Paul Ince.
Well, you start to run out of superlatives. And they want this just to be the start. And there was little between the sides in the first half. There looks a big gulf now. Clark.
There wasn't a great deal, Mark, you're right, between the sides of the first half, but you always felt that the more likely team to score was going to be the one in the red shirts.
Well, we pointed out that Alex Ferguson let his players off the leash for a few days, but how responsibly they've come back to work today. Well, you do feel Wimbledon's best hope is at a set play. They are good at making it awkward for goalkeepers. This time they work it short via Jones, back to Barton again. Holdsworth! Dean Holsworth pulls one back for Wimbledon, and it's 2-1. And the set piece does see the ball in Schmeichel's net, and he's not happy about it. There's a real inquest going on here.
He's not happy because no one's on the post. I think they all come out. That's a cracking header from Dean Holsworth. Now, how often have we said in the past, when there's no one on the post, then you do risk conceding goals you wouldn't normally concede. Someone's on the near post there. They're just knocking it away.
Alec Ferguson is going already.
Well, if I was down to Joe, I'd blow my whistle now. The ball's right in that corner where the tunnel is.
They've gone for safety elsewhere. Fashanu, and they might miss the last Manchester United move here. Cantona insurging the legs forward once last time. McClare's there as well. And Sagers stops a postscript here. Harry Pallister gave us one in stoppage time against Blackburn on Monday. Flags up.
Oh, they think it's over.
Come on.
Oh, no.
And Joe Worrell says, I think discretion there coming into the mind of the referee. He's not going to clear the pitch. And Manchester United go off despite a week of backslapping and glass raising. They maintain their marvellous form right to the very end. Goals here from Paul Ince, and the one that will make the headlines from Brian Robson. It turned out to be the winner as well, because Dean Holsworth got one back for Wimbledon late on. A 7th straight win to finish with a real flourish. 24 wins in all in the Premier League, 12 draws, 6 defeats, exactly the same figures as their last title-winning team of 1967.